In the shadowed waters off Canada's eastern coast lies an island that has haunted sailors, treasure hunters, and historians for over 2 centuries. It's a speck of land no bigger than a football field, yet it guards a mystery so profound, so terrifying, that governments have buried it, corporations have failed to crack it, and lives have been lost in its pursuit. Welcome to Oak Island, the Isle of Demons. For 400 years, maps have warned of its perils. Tempests that swallow ships whole, spectral howls echoing from the fog, and a curse that demands blood before revealing its heart. But why? Why does Canada, a nation of open prairies and transparent democracy, hide this secret? Tonight, we uncover the truth. We dive into the pits, decode the maps, and confront the ghosts, because the secret isn't just buried treasure. It's something that could rewrite history, and it's closer to being unearthed than you think. It all began in the summer of 1795. In the wilds of Nova Scotia, the American Revolution had just sputtered out, and the British Empire was redrawing maps with ink still wet from war. Enter Daniel McGinnis, a 16-year-old settler with dreams bigger than his farm. Local tales spoke of pirates haunting Mahone Bay, a labyrinth of 365 islands where Blackbeard himself was said to have danced with the devil. One evening, as the sun dipped into the sea like a bloodied coin, Daniel rowed to Oak Island. What he found wasn't gold, but a promise of it. There, in a clearing amid ancient oaks, lay a peculiar depression, 13 feet wide, perfectly circular, as if the earth had been scooped by a giant's hand. Flagstones lined its edge, weathered but deliberate. No natural sinkhole, this. Compelled by whispers of treasure, Daniel recruited his friends. John Smith, a blacksmith with arms like oak branches, and Anthony Vaughan, a farmer whose curiosity burned brighter than his pipe. Together they dug, at 2 feet, more flagstones forming a platform. At 10 feet, a layer of oak logs, hewn smooth as a ship's deck. 20 feet, another platform. Tools marks scarred the wood, not animal claws but chisel bites from human hands. By 30 feet, the air grew thick, the walls unstable. They hit bedrock, or so they thought. A final platform, then nothing but darkness. Superstition gripped them. "It's cursed," John muttered, crossing himself. They fled, hearts pounding, leaving the pit to the island's mercy. But the seed was planted. Word spread like wildfire through Chester's taverns. Pirates, Spaniards, the lost riches of the Incas. Oak Island wasn't just land, it was a siren call. Yet, from the start, shadows loomed. Old Mi'kmaq legend spoke of spirit ground where the veil between worlds thinned. European cartographers charting these waters in the 1500s had already branded it Isle of Démons, Island of Demons. Why? Because ships vanished here, not wrecked by reefs but lured into fog-shrouded traps. Crews screaming as harpies, half woman, half beast, dragged them under, or so the maps claimed. These weren't fairy tales. In 1542, explorer Jacques Cartier's logs described tempests off Sable Island, but whispers point further north to Oak's cursed shores. Basque whalers, hunting leviathans in the 1500s, etched warnings. Here be demons that steal souls and hoard gold. A 400-year-old secret, born in the Renaissance age of exploration, when Columbus's heirs sailed with Bibles and cutlasses, mapping hell itself. But why hide it? Early colonial governors in Halifax dismissed the tales as sailor yarns, yet they forbade settlements on the island. Unfit for Christian feet, one dispatch reads, buried in Nova Scotia archives. Was it fear or knowledge? Imagine, you're a cartographer in 1580, poring over survivor sketches. A galleon limps into port, crew raving of an island where the ground swallows men alive, where floods rise like vengeful spirits. You ink it demons to deter the greedy. But beneath the myth, a vault, sealed not by magic but by engineering so advanced it defies the era. Flood tunnels rigged to seawater, booby trapped with coconut fibers from distant tropics, fibers that date to 1200 AD, predating Columbus by centuries. Daniel's discovery was no accident. It was the key turning in a 400-year lock. And Canada? They've been the unwitting jailer, classifying swaths of Mahone Bay as protected wetlands, limiting access under environmental pretexts. But dig deeper, literally, and you'll find redacted files in Ottawa, whispers of national security. Why? Because what lies buried could upend empires. Dr. Voss, the demon label wasn't hyperbole, It was a code. European powers knew something was here, a repository of forbidden knowledge or wealth that could fund wars or spark revolutions. Hiding it kept the peace. But now, with climate change eroding the shores, the secret's rising. Canada can't bury it forever. By 1802, the whisper had become a roar. The Onslow Company, flush with Halifax merchants' gold, bought the island for a pittance. They weren't boys with shovels. These were engineers with dynamite dreams. Sinking a shaft beside McGinnis's pit, they plunged to 90 feet. What they unearthed chilled the blood. Layers of logs every 10 feet, oak and spruce, charred as if by ritual fire. At 60 feet, coconut fiber, thousands of pounds, not local but shipped from India or the Caribbean. A dike against the sea. Then, the stone, a 200-pound slab of basalt, etched with cryptic symbols. 40 feet below, 2 million pounds are buried, it allegedly read when translated by a local scholar. Cipher or hoax? Debate rages, but the stone vanished in 1917, resurfacing as a doorstep in a chicken coop, symbols scrubbed away by oblivious farmers. But hubris met horror. At 93 feet, the pit flooded, not rain, seawater surging from below like the island's veins pumping vengeance. Pumps chugged futilely. Divers probed for leaks. They found none. Or did they? Rumors swirled of a booby trap. Tunnels from the shore, siphons primed by tides. The company tunneled horizontally, 118 feet long, only for cave-ins to bury tools and Templars. Bankrupt by 1805, they fled, cursing the demon's breath. Undeterred, the Truro Company formed in 1849. A who's who of Nova Scotia elite, including surveyors and preachers seeking redemption and riches. They bored with augers piercing 7 oak platforms, then metal. A scrap of chain? Gold links? Clay sealed with putty, scented of ship's oakum. At Smith's Cove, a beach of stones hid the horror. A vast U-shaped drain, lined with eelgrass and more coconut husks, feeding 5 channels to the money pit. Ingenious, marveled their engineer, a floodgate from hell. But as they dynamited a cofferdam, the sea rebelled. Tides roared, swallowing equipment. A new shaft to 109 feet collapsed, drowning hopes in mud. Death came calling. In 1861, the Oak Island Association's boiler exploded, claiming Robert Smith. Hydrogen sulfide, demon's fart, miners called it, poisoned Robert Restall and 3 others in 1965. Their bodies hauled limp from the pit. 6 down, 1 to go. Per the curse, 7 must die before the treasure's revealed. Shafts multiplied like veins. 88 feet, 163 feet, 235 feet, each deeper, each deadlier. William Chappell in 1931 unearthed a pickaxe, Cornish, 1700s vintage. Gilbert Hedden, a steel magnate, scoured pirate lore, tracing a 1701 map to Kidd's hoard. Franklin D. Roosevelt himself invested in 1909, his letters gushing. The greatest puzzle of the ages. Yet, for every artifact, a brass pin, a gilded button, sheepskin parchment inked 1704. Floods mocked them. Borehole 10X in the 1970s glimpsed wooden chests, human remains, per grainy video, but collapse erased proof. Triton Alliance bankrupted, suing for silence. Dan Blankenship, a lone wolf, drilled to 180 feet, logging discolored wood, metal traces. His widow still guards tapes, eyes hollow. It took my husband. It wants more. Why the secrecy? Early companies signed oaths of silence. NDA savant la lettre. Nova Scotia's government, eyeing tourism dollars. Classified digs under mining laws, redacting reports. Protect the environment, they claim. But leaks suggest more. Seismic scans showing voids like cathedrals underground, vaults honeycombing the island. In 2011, the Oak Island Treasure Act legalized searches, but with strings, no exports of finds, no media frenzy. Canada's hiding it because unearthing it could flood the economy with billions, or bankrupt it in lawsuits from indigenous claims. Miriam, Dan said it whispered to him at night, names, dates, Templars, French kings. The government's men came after, took his logs. National interest, they said. But it's ours, the islands, and it's angry. To understand the hide, trace the maps 4 centuries ago as Henry VIII dissolved monasteries and Cortés plundered Tenochtitlan. Europe's mapmakers were alchemists of the unknown. Giovanni da Verrazzano, Italian under French flag, sailed the Gulf of Maine in 1524. His logs, lost to time, allegedly describe an Isle of Tempest where fiends guard golden crypts. but it's the 1540s charts of Basque fishermen that seal it. Isla de los Demonios, a hazard zone, ships vanishing without debris. Why demons? Legends from Norse sagas, Draugr rising from barrows, mingled with Mi'kmaq, tales of Glooskap's wrathful brother, sealing evil in stone. Fast forward to 1607, Champlain's hydrographer, Samuel de Champlain, redraws the bay. Oak shrinks on paper. Erosion or deliberate erasure? By 1650, Dutch maps whisper of Kidd's cache, linking to the pirate's 1699 execution. Harold Wilkins' 1935 book Captain Kidd and his Skeleton Island drops the bomb. A 16th century chart, annotated by Kidd himself, pinpointing Oak as his dump site for £2 million in loot, enough to buy Britain twice over. But demons? A veil for something biblical. Theories posit pre-Columbian visitors. Vikings in 1000 AD, leaving Lonso Meadows. But Oak's fibers scream tropics. Portuguese Jews, fleeing Inquisition, hiding the Ark, or Templars, post-1307 purge, smuggling the Grail via Sinclair's fleet, a 1347 map, unearthed in 2020 Edinburgh archives, mirrors Oak's topography perfectly. Coves, knobs, a cruciform pit. Zeno narrative speaks of Frisian knights reaching Estotland. Nova Scotia, burying relics to evade Philip IV's greed. Canada hides this because maps are power. British Admiralty classified them in 1763, post-Acadian expulsion, fearing French reprisals. Today, geoscan data, government-held, shows anomalies, magnetic spikes like buried iron, voids spanning football fields, released in drips via the Laginas show, but full files? Locked in vaults? Why? Indigenous rights. Mi'kmaq claim Oak is sacred, a spirit trap for colonial sins. Unearth it, and treaties shatter. Or worse, proof of lost civilizations, toppling curricula from Ottawa to Oxford. Doctor Voss, these aren't errors, they're suppressions. The demon label deterred rivals, Spain, France, all hunting the same prize. So what is the secret? Pirates first. Captain William Kidd, hanged in 1701, swore from the gallows his treasure was safe from kings. 700,000 pounds in diamonds, Mughal emeralds, buried to buy a pardon. Blackbeard, dying in 1718, laughed of Oak's oath. Evidence? A 17th century spike, Spanish Maravedis, heart-shaped stone aligning with Masonic rites. But flood suggests more than loot. A vault for state secrets, Stuart exiles hiding crown jewels post-1688. Deeper, Knights Templar, excommunicated in 1312, they fled with holy relics, Grail, Ark, True Cross. Henry Sinclair's 1398 voyage, per the Zeno letters, lands in Nova Scotia, building Rosslyn-like chapels. Gaspereau's symbols match. Oak's cross shaft, a cathedral inverted, artifacts. Lead Cross 2017 find, carbon-dated 1200s, Templar coins. Why Canada? The Order's new temple, a Western Holy Land, hidden from papal hunters. Then the Bard's bones. Francis Bacon, alleged Shakespeare ghostwriter, encoding plays with oak clues. Viola's twin in Twelfth Night, manuscripts buried to preserve the hoax, or Marie Antoinette's jewels smuggled 1791 by French loyalists. Via Louisbourg's fall. Coconut fibers, Acadian dikes, but dates scream 1260 to 1400. Phoenician trade, natural debunk. Sinkholes from gypsum dissolution, tar kilns misread as pits. Woods Hole 1995, no man-made tunnels, just aquifers. But 2023 scans, voids with organic traces, bone, ink, gold alloy. The darkest alien outpost? No, but a pre-Clovis archive, 12,000-year-old Mi'kmaq vault, guarding solstice alignments. Canada hides it to avoid rewriting human origins. Each theory a thread in the demon's web, but the hide, Economic Treasure Act caps fines at 20% for diggers, rest to crown, billions at stake, but so is the curse's seventh death. Enter the 21st century. Rick Lagina, history buff dying of Lyme, buys the dream in 2006 with brother Marty, a steel tycoon. $11 million later, they've sunk shafts, muoned voids, carbon-dated bones, 1700s European. Finds, Roman sword, Norse axe, a 1,652 garnet brooch, muonic scans revealing the garden shaft. A 150-foot void, booby trapped anew. The show, since 2014, teases revelations. Parchment 1705, silver ox shoe, Templar prayer beads, but floods persist. Dye tests confirm tunnels. In 2022, they breached 118 feet, hitting wood. Then water. Curse claims, 6 dead, a diver's scare counts as 7th. Canada's role, permits galore but surveillance. Drones overfly, RCMP advises discretion. Why? The secret's geopolitical. Russian subs probe the bay in Cold War. Now, Chinese miners eye rare earths in the pits. Rick, it's not about gold, it's truth. The island's telling its story, in layers and losses, Canada's guardians, but we're the key holders now. Why hide? Fear of chaos, treasure floods markets, crashes gold prices, of reparations. Micmac sue for billions, of heresy. Templar proof shatters Vatican lore. Environmentally, erosion dooms the island. Sea levels rise, secrets spill. Ottawa classifies to control the narrative. Tourist trap, not time bomb. But cracks show. 2025 leaks. A void at 200 feet, echoing sonar like a bell. The 7th life? Imminent. Canada can't hide forever. The demons demand revelation. Oak Island isn't hidden by Canada alone. It's guarded by time, tide, and terror. A 400-year secret of demons and dreams, pirates and prophets. Will the Laginas claim it? Or will the sea? One thing's certain. The island watches, and it knows your name. Thank you for unearthing this with me. Subscribe for the next forbidden tale. Sleep tight, no demons under your bed. Yet.